Hello everyone, welcome back to a new post today, and today we'll be discussing something about the governor. So he is the head of the state and is ceremonial. He has powers, but he has to exercise them with the aid and advice of the chief minister. So this is the role of the governor in the Constitution of India. Recently, there have been many controversies regarding the elected government and the governors of the state, so much so that there were demands for abolishing the post of the governor totally from the Constitution. And this very demand came from our own state, Telangana itself. Let's look at some of the controversies surrounding the governor and the elected governments and what are the reasons that the office of the governor is actually criticized. So let's go ahead and look into what made news regarding the governor very recently. Now, the governor is the chief executive head of the state and he is the nominal executive head and also acts on the aid and advice of the chief minister. He is the agent of the central government, and the governor is being criticized as being a puppet of the central government and acting as an agent of the center rather than being a constitutional head of the state. Now, recently from the country's capital, that's Delhi, with the Lieutenant Governor to South India's Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, through West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, we have seen that there has been a tussle between the elected government and the governors, the office of the governors. In some cases, the governors have appeared to be more powerful than the elected government, and however, this tussle between the elected government and the governors is not very new. But recently, this has become more and more deepening, the tussle between and the difference between the elected government and the governors, and this is being called by the Supreme Court as a threat to the democracy as well. The Supreme Court has already said that this way of functioning in the country is actually dangerous for the democracy and the constitution. So how is the governor? What is actually the role of the governor? So we know that the governor is the nominal head where the real powers are actually exercised by the chief minister who heads the council of ministers. And the president is, though the governor and the president both are the head of the state, but the president of India is elected. There is a specific procedure for election of the president of India, while the governor is actually selected. So he is appointed by the central government. The governor is the constitutional head of the state, and also he acts as a very vital link between the union and the state government. So the post of the governor is actually to ensure that the state government functions according to the constitution and that there is a link between the center and the states. So the role of the governor is actually to strengthen the federal fabric. Now, there have been issues relating to the governor recently, and the present issues are regarding mainly in the opposition ruled states like West Bengal, Delhi, Telangana, Kerala, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, and they have accused the governor of acting at the behest of the center and interfering in the normal functioning of the state government. So what have been the issues regarding the governor as of recent? Let us look at some of these issues that have been going on. Let's go to Delhi first. So we know that the Aam Aadmi Party is the government there and Kejriwal is the CM. So since he has been elected in 2015 and he has been the chief minister continuously till now, there has been a tussle between Kejriwal government and the lieutenant governor. But the dispute with the government continues also. And he has accused the governor has accused the Kejriwal government of wasteful expenditure and has also written many letters regarding this. Not only this, but the lieutenant governor has also sent a recovery notice to the chief minister in which he termed the money spent on the campaign of the Delhi government as a propaganda actually of the party, and has now demanded the recovery of the money that has been spent for that. Now the question arises, can the lieutenant governor actually make a recovery from the elected chief minister? So the matter does not stop here. The lieutenant governor has also gone to an extent where he constituted an inquiry committee for several schemes of the Delhi government. The lieutenant governor also nominated 10 BJP workers as corporators in the municipal corporation without asking the elected government. Now, the lieutenant governor has also been putting seals on the suggested names by the government for the corporators, but this time it is alleged that the lieutenant governor got the list from the BJP's office. So these are certain issues between the Aam Aadmi Party and the lieutenant governor in Delhi. Let's go to Tamil Nadu in the south. So we know what happened recently during the governor's address to the house. So the DMK has also demanded the recall of the governor. Now, Tamil Nadu is ruled by the DMK, and the governor has been there at loggerheads with the elected government. Recently, this reached a limit where the governor remarked that the state should actually be being called as Tamizhagam instead of Tamil Nadu. Earlier, the governor also broke the decorum by omitting the passages which is given to the governor to read in his address to the Legislative Assembly. And in that passage, which were certain paragraphs which were not there were added by its own. So he went on to praise many DMK stalwarts like Annadurai Karunanidhi as well as Periyar and the architect of the Indian Constitution, B.R. Ambedkar. These things were not included in the governor's address. The precedent is that actually the governor should always read the prepared speech which is given by the government to him. And after this, then the ruling party started to raise slogans that the governor should go out. A day after the incident, many DMK MPs wrote to the President Draupadi Murmu, and they're stating in a petition that the governor was violating the constitution and he should be recalled. Along with this, the CM also submitted a list of bills to the governor, so we know that the governor's assent is required for the passage of the bills, and also questioned the delay in which the governor was holding on to the bills with him. Now, these bills also included one provision that was to exempt Tamil Nadu from the purview of the NEET medical examination. So the DMK and the allies say that the governor is trying to actually impose diktats of the central government on the Tamil Nadu government, which is actually very unnecessary for a federal governance system. So these are certain tussles between the Tamil Nadu government and the governor there. Let's go to Kerala now, the neighbor of Tamil Nadu, and see what happened. So he has been in news because of the issue of the vice chancellor removal, etc. And also he has been making remarks on the elected ministers. So he also warned them that he can also remove them from their post if they make certain remarks on the office of the governor. So the Kerala government has been at loggerheads with the governor Arif Mohammad Khan. So sometime back there was a constitutional crisis that had erupted in the state after the governor Arif Khan actually directed the vice chancellors of 9 universities to resign. Now the chief minister said that the governor has no authority to do so, and he accused Arif Khan of actually working against the constitution and democracy. Now, this is not the first time that the governor is interfering in the working of the government. The governor also continued to make political statements against the elected government in Kerala and the ministers as well. So apart from this, on many other occasions also, the governor was seen opposed to the elected government, and the governor has also held a press conference, going to the extent of holding a press conference against the elected government. Next, let us look at our own very state, that is Telangana. So we already know in news that that the governor, that chief minister KCR is not in very good books with the governor Soundararajan. So later, the Telangana has actually not remained untouched with the controversy of the office of the governor, and the ruling party has alleged that the Raj Bhavan, Tamil Sai, is actually belongs to the BJP political party, and who we know is ruling at the center now. So KCR, that is the ruling party, alleges that the governor is behind the poaching of MLAs, that is from TRS party into the BJP party. And such controversies around the constitutional post, like around the governorship, seems very, very unfortunate, because we know that the governor is neutral and does not belong to any political party. And these things haven't been proved also. On the other hand, the governor Soundararajan is suspecting that a phone is being tapped by the Telangana government. Also, they have submitted a recall for the governor, and she has also spoken to the BJP leaders about this. She has also said she always spoke to work very coordinatingly with the TRS leaders. She took charge as a governor of the state, and let me remind you that she is the first woman governor of Telangana after it got separated from Andhra Pradesh. There was also a controversy when the government summoned the house without the address of the governor. So this was a big controversy lately in Telangana. So apart from this, there have been many, these are the few instances that I gave you, what is the differences erupting. But apart from this, there has been rifts between the governor and the elected government in West Bengal, Jharkhand as well as Chhattisgarh. So what are the criticisms actually leveled against the office of the governor? We know that the governor is appointed by the center and he holds office as on the pleasure of the president. So let's see what is actually the controversy. What are the things that actually makes the office of the governor a standpoint for criticism, and what are the criticisms usually leveled against the office of the governor? Now, the first very criticism is around the issues of selecting a chief minister, especially when there is no party which has a clear-cut majority, or sometimes when there is a hung assembly. The second point is that there is the determining time to prove the floor test or the majority in the house. Usually it is the pejorative of the governor to do so. Many a times in Karnataka and in Goa also we have seen instances where the governor usually does not call the parties to prove the majority. And the third point is that taking a very long time to give assent to the bills. This has been seen in Tamil Nadu and also in Telangana as well. The biggest controversy is about the misuse of Article 356, where the president can impose president's rule or state emergency in the state level, and that too on the report of the governor, that is on the recommendation of the governor. So this has been a very sticking point between the center and the state relations, especially when there is a hung assembly or when the no party, when there is a defection, lots of defection, and no political party can form the government at the state level. So without giving a chance for the other parties to form the government, many a times we have seen instances in history and also recently that the governor immediately puts a recommendation for imposing of president's rule. The next point is about adversely commenting on the state policies of the government. Policies of the government are made by the elected government, so the governor functions on the aid and advice, and it is wrong on the part of the governor to actually make adverse remarks about the policies of the state government. The next sticking point is that exercising the powers like the chancellor of the state universities, which we have seen very recently in Kerala only, where based on the judgment of regarding a vice chancellor, the governor Arif Khan in Kerala asked the vice chancellors of 9 universities to resign straight away. The next point is that abuse of power. So usually we see that the governors come from the center. So usually they are their confidants. The center appoints the governor in various states who are their confidants, and the opposition party ruled states or those which are not in alliance, they do not like the governors who are sent to the states. Apart from that, the next point is that the appointment, the very procedure of appointment of the governor, taking the whole decision by the decision being taken wholly by the center and not consulting the chief minister, etc., is also criticized. Apart from that, the biased ideology. We see many a times that the governor is from a different political party and the state also might belong to a different political party. Very example is Telangana, where we have the TRS government, which is not an alliance partner and is actually an opposition to the BJP. And we have Tamil side Soundararajan, who is actually a BJP stalwart. So their ideologies do not match, and this is a sticking point between the governors and the elected government. But going by this, the elected government should not put this criticism, because the governor is to be said to be neutral without any support to any particular political party. And apart from that, there is a criticism that the governor acts like a puppet. So the governor of Rajasthan has been charged with the violation of the Model Code of Conduct, and his support of the central political party is actually seen as against the spirit of non-partisanship, which is expected of a person sitting in that position. Then the next criticism is favoring a particular political party. So the governor's discretionary powers allow the governor to call any leader he feels that can form the next government if there is hung assembly, or if there is no majority to form the government at the state level, or if the chief minister resigns or dies in office, etc. So he has this pejorative and discretionary power, but many a times this has been misused, mostly favoring the political party to which the governor of the state actually belong to. And partisan role in the hung assemblies is another point. So in case of hung assemblies, there is actually the discretion for the governors to decide which political party or coalition of parties is the best to form the government, and this discretion has been seen to be abused by the governors in many cases on the instructions of the center. Now, there are various instances where, despite parties be having fewer seats than the parties in opposition, are also invited to form the government. So recently, the governor invited the BJP to form the government in Karnataka, despite the opposition claiming the majority. So these are some of the criticisms that are leveled against the office of the governor, and due to which there is a tussle or a rift between the elected government and the governor. Mostly we see a rift in the states where the governor is from the ruling party and there is the opposition party or a non-coalition partner who is at the state level. So mostly the rift is always in the states which have this type of a setup. But laying criticisms on the governor just for them acting on the basis of the party at the center is to an extent not right. And along with that, there have been many instances where the governor holding the post is not able to maintain the dignity of that office and has definitely acted in a biased manner, which actually that office should not do. So now there has been a demand asking that we should actually totally abolish the post of the governor, and I do not think so that this is possible, because the governor we are a parliamentary form of democracy and we have parliamentary system both at the center and the state, and governor's office is the basic structure with regard to parliamentary system in the constitution. And also he has been seen as a link between the center and state, and we being quasi-federal, we are formed federal country because of the administrative requirements and not to make the states totally independent. So he ensures that there is proper functioning of the government at the state level according to the constitution, and also deals with situations when there are defections and also fall of the government all of a sudden. So the way the governors and the lieutenant governors have been accused of harassing and obstructing the working of the states has created a very big debate in the country that there should be abolishing of the office of the governor. Now, there has been the senior Telangana leader saying that the governor system is just not useful for our country, and he called upon the Prime Minister Narendra Modi that all the governors should be removed immediately. And in a program in Delhi, the former Supreme Court judge also Gopal Gowda says that nowadays the governors are troubling the opposition ruled state governments at the behest of the center, and this is actually not good for the democracy. So many experts say that all this is not new, and the governor has been used politically in the past too, especially when he has the discretion to choose the minister, having a floor test, asking the parties to form a majority, forming the government after the present government has lost the majority, etc. So there have been many instances where the office of the governor has been used politically, and also many governors did not uphold the dignity of the office, while many have also lived up to the expectations of the government also. But however, this recent eruptions of rift between the governor and the state, and them asking to totally abolish the position of the governor, is dangerous for a healthy democracy, because we are based on a parliamentary system of government. Now in this post, I will not go into the question whether we can really abolish the position of the governor, and shall we really do it? What is the way in which there can be there can be amicable functioning between the office of the governor and the elected government? But I think, at least for now, the points of criticism regarding the office of the governor and the recent instances of rift between the states and the governor helped you. If you did, please comment, like, share and subscribe, and follow me for your daily updates. Until then, I shall see you tomorrow with a new post, and then until then, it's happy learning. Bye bye.